American Black Death thrash metal hails. Usurper is finally back, being a goner for a long time. I don't know what happened with these guys, but since 2004, 2005, nothing really happened with Usurper, at least when it comes to creating new albums and releasing them. Now Usurper is back, and this is a brand new album we just got here for review called Lords of the Permafrost. Permafrost, permanent frost. That sounds about Antarctic and whatnot. As you can see, this cover image, despite being quite a lot of ice and whatnot, this creature is kind of reminiscent of their earlier album Crypto Beast. Same beast, I guess, different setting. As you can see, there's all the information from 2015 to 2018. This material was composed or created. So took quite a while. Well, obviously I cannot answer in this review why it took so goddamn many years for Usurper to come back, but I'm happy that they did. Those of you who have absolutely no idea what Usurper is all about, well, this about 25 years old band is all about creating old school black metal, death metal, thrash metal, all of them together in a kind of a unique way, or at least a rare way. Kind of a boneheaded, kind of a simple back to basics, back to old school kind of a thing. Usurper has always been paving the road with their style. That is not your typical Nordic black metal, it's not your typical American or Nordic death metal, but it's kind of a Usurper style. It's not even American thrash metal, but definitely has all these elements with their music. Now, not as fast tempo as many thrash metal bands, not as brutal as so many death metal bands, not as, I don't know, grim and cold as so many black metal bands. Usurper is kind of like in the middle of a crossroads, yet still doesn't feel one bit as it's one of those compromises. Actually, Usurper's style is something I would call, like I said, rather unique, because the way that they, create these riffs and compose their songs is something that is very familiar, and at the same time, it doesn't really remind me of any other bands. I already in the early 2000s, I kind of compared Usurper to Destroyer 666 and Swedish band Niflheim, not because these bands are exactly the same type of music. Well, they are not, despite being all kinda in the same subgenres, same boxing kinda, but very different. But the way that they actually combine these different genres, that way they mix it to a blend that is just their own, is just fantastic. They all have these kind of leather jackets and shades on type of old school, really honest metal music. I mean, it's not about who has the highest tempo, who can get the most grim sound with their guitar, who can blast their way through, who can scream the most high-pitched shrieks or whatnot. It's just creating about, it's all about just creating good songs, good riffs, very riff-oriented, very kind of a basic, honest work. And that is one of the reasons why I regard Usurper so highly. I mean, they are metalheads to the bone. And that is something that you can totally hear with this album as well. Now, this album is both a positive surprise as well as a tiny disappointment. Why tiny disappointment? Well, I kind of was hoping Twilight Dominion Part 2, Crypto Beast Part 2 or something in that direction, to those two albums, which are probably the best Usurper albums to this date. Then again, Usurper never did a weak album, but I think their later albums are a little bit better than their early works. Lords of the Permafrost goes somewhere between these high points and low points, and I think it's relatively strong an album. Now, after so long break, it's definitely a positive surprise as well, because well, it could have been a lot worse, to be honest. One could just expect, and this being fair expectation, to have a kind of a 6 out of 10 album. Kind of a mediocre, like, I like their attitude, but their music won't cut it. In my opinion, Usurper is beating those expectations easily. Kind of a nice and strong album, but not their best so far. So I guess the break there, the hiatus or whatever, I think it kind of took its toll. But then again, this could have happened even without any break whatsoever. I mean, it's not like bands constantly keep making better and better music. Obviously, you have to go a little bit down or low before you can get up again. And I think this is something that was kind of expected after those two great albums. So, without further ado, I strongly suggest you to check out those links, in the description box, because there you will find samples of the Usurper's music. I truly hope you will like it. It's great music with a great band, and let the music speak for itself. I'm here just to deliver a message. Signing off. Take care.